socio-cognitive framing and packaging. The principle of we versus they. When you go to school, you become part of them. Whoever does not go to school becomes the opposition, the bad people, the downtrodden, the poor people, the unintelligent people, the ignorant people, the uncivilized people. And you are trained never to see anything good in the old tradition. Unfortunately, this also affects Islam. The finest principles of Islam will present a psychological and epistemic problem. Tell him this thing is Sahih. A Muslim takes everything in Islam with tentative doubt. Tentative doubt. A Muslim needs the Europeans to give scientific backing, for his Quran and Hadith to believe in them. The belief is shaky, doubtful until you find a scientific basis for it, until you find social justice that is superior to the European social justice in the Sharia of Islam. An educated Muslim does not have confidence in the Sharia. This is a tragedy. This is a tragedy. And this is what we want to start looking at, how to correct, how to manage. Now, branding and naming are used to bring their deficient system up and bring other systems down. The effect of this include appreciation and preference for their own, and hatred and indignation for your own. That is why what will have been magic 50 years ago, I give example, the 16 templates and binary basis of the computer, the silicon, which is sand glass, which is the platform for the computer, the use of gene, or what they call genie today, the computer wizard. All these are new names for old traditional knowledge system. Ifa and Izabi are 16. Ifa and Izabi work on binary 2, Ejiogbe, Eji, Eji, Eji. Just like Ifa and Izabi was a reduction of 3 digits from the Quranic 19 figure. Today, the 2211 binary has been reduced to 0110. It is still binary. But Ifa and Izabi will be unfortunately called voodoo, paganism, oracle. This same oracle is now used as a word in computer today. It was oracle detestable names or the name of a social spiritual practice that should not be seen, should not be attached to an educated person. It is meant, the oracles are meant for the uncivilized people. But the oracle today is an attractive thing. Today, when they call you computer wizard, you are very, very proud of it. The wizard is the male counterpart of the witch. 50 years ago, nobody will answer when he's called wizard. Today, you are ready to be called a guru, which is another spiritual title in India, or a wizard, which is a fearful name 50 years ago in Africa. throughout the world. When they call a person a wizard, you must run away from such a person. When you call a person a wizard today, you must get close to him to tap from his wonderful knowledge. These are sweet scientific terminologies today. Meanwhile, these were the instruments and instrumentalities of the Ifa philosophical, epistemic, and socio-spiritual system, which was consigned to condemnable paganistic and idolatry voodoo. The tragedy is the consenting silent conspiracies of the educated Christian and the riotously contradictory condemnation by the Muslims who share the same traditions. The conversion of idols, shigidi, aransi, eshu, akpepa, akpeta, to artificial intelligence and robotics, and the uncontrollable abstraction and riotous tendencies in the trending technology smack of, in our own experience, the spiritual protest of genes when put under pressure. Epistemicide brands all these beautifully and recommend them for embrace with blind attention to apparent concordance with old tradition. Every robotic is not different from Shigidi. There is something in Yoruba tradition that is called Iroshe. There is Olugbon. There is Amono. These three, when you look at them very closely, they are not different from Google. They are not different from Google Map. They are not different from Google Drive. But the Muslim, we quickly condemn this thing as paganism. But the same Muslim, we happily interact with this, understand this, relate with this, and be happy about his proficiency in all this. Every Muslim is happy to be involved, to interact with AI, artificial intelligence, and we gladly get involved and praise it. But those who are of the old tradition do not see anything new in it. Artificial intelligence is the action of genes. But when you talk like this in public, you are condemned. You are condemned. But when you ask questions, what is the oracle? How does it work? What is the genie? What is computer wizard? How does it work? You cannot ask this question if you don't know the old tradition. Those of us who have some hints about old tradition are surprised that there is nothing basically, fundamentally different between the old tradition and what they call science and technology. Indeed, science must work like magic to be accepted as science today. The drone and the rest of them, they have equivalence in the old tradition. Now, the next thing is, the next thesis, which we will not, discuss in details, is the ideological discursive formations. These formations are the outlets, the instruments used to impose this system on us and to make them attractive. When you belong to these formations, you are very, very proud. They are religions, including Satanism, OTO, Illuminati, including Masonry and their 33 degrees, including the Lions Club, the Rotary Club, and all the rest of the club, including the sports club, not to talk of schools and other fraternities, the press, the media, the social media, the internet, social formations, governments, democracy, banks, and other financial institutions. These are the ideological discursive formations. We will give details when we get there. Number 3, conspiracy and complicity. The clerics rejected revelations in order to be better enlightened, progressive, and relevant. This one started from Shaitan, and it continued with Judaism and then Christianity. Unfortunately, Muslims have joined. The Jew and the Jewish clerics abandoned the Torah. They eat the main content of Torah. They replaced with Talmud. That was why Allah brought Jesus, Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, to correct this situation. The Jews rejected Jesus, called him a bastard, and threw away his message. But before they did that, they raised one of them, Paul, to obliterate everything. And they replaced the Injil with the Old Testament and the New Testament, especially the book of Revelation, which was a propaganda article. The writer of Revelation told them that something to be used for the world and thrown away. It was propaganda. Today, it is in the Holy Bible. Can you imagine? Holy Bible. Stories, perspectives, gospels according to the author. These are the compilation of the Holy Bible. And they make us believe that whatever is there is true. So they call it gospel truth. This is the basis of a world religion. Compilation of truth, half-truth, fabrications, and falsehood. This is the basis, the book upon which a world religion is based. The Christians do not have access to the Injil. The Muslims have everything. Allah says, "Ma faratna fil kitabi min shay'in." Nothing have we omitted from the book. I dare say, if we advertise this program, that we are going to read a particular surah of the Quran, we won't have 20 people to attend. We are 51 now. We have joined because the word is strange. The first time I use it among professors, every professor had not heard this word before. Even professors of philosophy. The first time I used it last month, I was shocked that people don't know what it is. Professors like me do not know what it is. This is what pricks me to say, oh, so you don't know what is going on. You don't know that you are victims, product, and cloned effigies of epistemicide. Your professorship is an evidence that this epistemicide has also killed you and has buried you intellectually, cerebrally, and spiritually. So, ideological discursive formations are the places we ought to go, including Islamic University in Medina and the one in Tel Aviv. They are no good institutions. They are no good. Nothing good can come out of this. Number 3 is conspiracy. Okay, that's where we are. Conspiracy and complicity. So, Muslims today have abandoned the Quran. Any cleric that wants to be popular, that wants to be trending, must not be talking even about the polluted Bible. You must be doing motivational talk. You must be talking about what is not possible. You must be brandishing miracle. Any Muslim that wants to get popular must be talking rubbish. Otherwise, nobody wants to listen to the Quran because nobody has presented the Quran to them as a book of life that does not leave out anything without discussing it. So this is where I want to stop. Next week, we will look at the origin of epistemicide. This origin will help us to manage our own portion, the damaging effect of it in our individual persons. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
National coordinator, sir.
Abi, you don't go sleep, me.
I'm not
sure. You don't go sleep, me.
He's still here.
He's here apparently. He may not be with us.
All right. Well, while we are waiting for him to take over, we have 12 to 11 minutes to ask questions, make contributions, grant this aspect of the discussion without necessarily jumping into what
I couldn't unmute myself. You made that impossible for me to do, so I didn't go to sleep. So we want to thank our Professor Emeritus for this delicious meal that we have been served. I'm glad that we are just starting and we will continue. So we want to invite those who have brief contribution to make. If you want to reserve it until the real meal, because this one is like the appetizer. Wonderful as it is, I'm sure that we have much more to drink from the trough of our Imam Emeritus. We want to thank him for this wonderful expose into the things that we have taken for granted, because basically this is how it is done. It's like an opium. You don't see what is negative about it. So you keep going and rationalizing, justifying until you are completely swept off the ground. They deal with you like a psychopath would deal with anybody, because you will like the psychopath because of the things he will do. By the time you realize or sense the danger it represents, you are so madly in love that you can't contemplate existence outside of it. So may Allah assist us. We welcome people who have, anyone who has contribution to make, so that in the next 9 or so minutes, we can round off and go to sleep. Assalamu alaikum.
So litigate, litigate. Saturday friend. Can somebody give us closing prayer so that we can go? I expect Professor Iposu and Dr. Sikirlai Abigani to have some contribution. But if there is none, we can go and sleep tonight. We serve the main menu tomorrow. Next week, inshallah.
I think it's too early to make any contribution that we don't have constipation. Since this is just the appetizer, I think an attempt to make any contribution here may result into early constipation. May Allah spare our lives beyond next week. We thank everybody for making it here today. We hope you will join us again next week, inshallah, to start the early part of the main menu. We pray Allah to continue to increase our Imam in knowledge, understanding, and good health. May Allah preserve his life and grant him longevity of life. May Allah spare our lives till next week and beyond. May Allah make this discussion a means of guidance for us, and may Allah forgive our mistakes, overlook our shortcoming, and admit us into Al-Jannah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.